Hey guys, welcome back to Brewing Mead. Trying to move my unit upstairs, but he's... I can't move or else it will come back down. This isn't going very well. Promising. Got that up the stairs. I've been pushing it with my back ever since the bottom. Been here for about 20 minutes. And now I've got to try and get it around this bend. I think the fun's just begun. Today, we're going to be taking this table down to final size. I've got my little jig here. Got it all set up with a straight edge. Here we go. Walk all the way over here. Right, I'm going to have to pull this over a bit. We're just going to send it. Woo. You get me fucking dust mask on. Woo. But you saw me take that first cut. I basically did the exact same thing going all the way around. This is how it's looking now. You know, a little bit rough. But what we're going to get on with now is taking the router with a round over bit, and we're going to go round over the whole lot. Let's set up a time lapse. Let's do this. You can watch me struggle to flip a table. And yeah, let's get cracked on. Let's get cracked on. Hi guys, and we're back. You watched me do a bit of sanding and all the time lapse and stuff. I just did that to one side just to do a rough sanding, just to see where we're at and where things are gonna go. Because I'm about to do the what do you call it, the C channels to make sure the table doesn't warp over time. So I think this is going to be the back because there's a lot of imperfections on this side, so we're going to go ahead and do this. And one thing I noticed yesterday while I was sanding as well is that flattening jig I had didn't do a very good job at flattening it. There was a couple of passes that were a bit deeper than others, so there's a lot of sanding to do, like a lot of sanding. I mean, I was sanding for an hour and at 60 grit, and we're still not all the way through to completely flat yet. So I'm going to take a break from sanding for a bit, do these C channels, and yeah. Alright, I got my dust mask on, everything's all marked out. Let's try to do this without burning down the shed because it is incredibly dusty in here. So I'm going to be on fire watch, but let's get at it. Right, so you watched me cut out those C channels. I've also drilled some holes in them and cut some come off camera. I need to go to Screwfix and get myself some screws to put in it. Some bolts, sorry. But here they are. Right now I'm currently about to use them as a guide to cut out the slot in the table for the C channels. But here they are. Really easy to make out of some box tubing, but holy moly, those grinding discs I bought are just useless. I bought really cheap grinding discs and I went through about 5 of them to cut this. And I've used grinding discs loads of times before, especially cheap ones and stuff, and I've never ever came across sanding discs that are so bad. As soon as they touch or get a whiff of metal, they just fucking grind down. So won't be buying them again. But either way, we got through it all. It's all done, and let's cut out these C channels and install them. Got done with the C channels. They're all cut out, drilled all the holes, screwed them all in, threaded inserts are in, the channel they sit in is all done. I quickly rushed through it with time lapses and stuff like that. So we are ready to move on to sanding and finishing now. I'm going to do the threaded inserts once all the sanding and finishing is done, because everything's upstairs, so I want to do it when I'm installing it. So yeah, we'll do all that when all that's done. But this is how everything looks. As you can see, got everything nice and snug in. And I know what you're thinking. Those bolts don't look like they have any room for seasonal wood movement. And these bolts are, the holes for them are drilled about 3 millimeters wider than the actual screw. So they do have room to move around, but it should be fine. I'm not worried about it. I just don't have a mill to mill in a slot for these screws, and I don't want to mess around with small hand files and stuff trying to make the slots. So I just oversized the holes, so it all should be fine. But now we have a lot of sanding to do. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. I was here yesterday for about an hour sanding it to get it looking like this, and that was with 60 grit. So not looking forward to this, but let's get the dust mask on and let's get it all finished. I'm going to spare you a lot of the sanding, and I'm going to just crack on, and I'll come back to you once we're doing the final grit and doing the staining and all that stuff. So I'm going to crack on. Wish me luck, and when they invent a way to make sanding a little bit better, please let me know. We got it all sanded now. You saw me put some stain on it. This is how the table's looking. Looks very nice and rustic. So we're going to put some lacquer on it now. I'll set you up on a time lapse, and let's get on with it. Go grab my lacquer. Which one is it? I can't remember. Quick dry. Yep, that you're the one. Get all the fucking dust off it. Little shake for good look. I'm going to be using this lacquer, and I'm going to be doing a technique that no one does. Probably because it is a bad way of doing it, but I did it on my round table. I'll put a picture here of what I'm talking about. This is what I did for that, and I got a really, really good finish with it instead of using a brush or anything like that. So I'm going to try it again with this table. What I'm basically going to do is apply it like a finish, get a rag, dip the rag in, and then just rub it into the table. Let the wood soak up as much lacquer as possible, and then wipe it off. And then keep doing that back and forward until it no longer soaks any lacquer up. So let's get started. Right guys, so you watch me apply the lacquer. It's a bit of a, I'd say, a controversial way of applying it, but my experience, it works. I've done 3 coats of that the way I've done it, and I've now sanded it up to 800 grit. but I haven't used the orbital sander. I've used hand sanding, done it very, very lightly because we don't want to break through that lacquer layer. So here's the table. It's a little bit more matte now because I did a little bit of sanding, but now we are going to put a ceramic coating on it, and we're going to do 4 to 5 layers of it because it's really good for not leaving ring marks. It's really good for like protection with water and stuff, and it really bumps the sheen up. So we'll get cracked on with that. Right, so this is the ceramic coating I've got, called Lucky Cat. It cost me about £20, and it's made for cars, and I'll put a link to this down in the description because so far for me it's been really, really good, and it's only 20 quid, and the protection it offers is really, really good. And rub it in. So we're in my room now. I haven't got my mic on me, so you're just going to have to deal with this audio. Dragged this from the shed to my room. I'm going to set you up on a little time lapse to watch me struggle lifting this by myself. So enjoy.